Hey everybody, this is Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous, and welcome to the Queen of Hearts update / Twin Peaks thought of the day for Monday, January 8th, 2018. My guest today is Joey. How's it going, man?
How's it going?
Doing great. How's your connection holding up?
It seems to be okay for now, but we'll see as the show goes on.
Now, if you disappear and turn into like a teapot, or a machine that's shaped like a teapot, or a dildo, as David Lynch says in the behind the scenes, hopefully you will still communicate to us through Steam.
I have a little vaporizer thing back there, so maybe that'll work.
So earlier today, you did a show on your channel, kind of in memory of David Bowie, right?
I did.
And what were some of the things that you discussed today?
Well, basically, I just asked people what were any lingering questions or ideas they had about who Philip Jeffries is and what he's been doing. You know, what was that time in between season 3 and season 2? Just anything that was still weighing on people's minds, we kind of went into a little bit.
Well, forget about season 2. How about season 1? Because that scene we see in Fire Walk With Me takes place, according to the movie, a year before season 1.
That's right.
If you go by the script, it takes place at the same time as Laura going to school, which is really absurd to me. Yeah, you know, honestly, to be honest, as somebody who is very deep into Twin Peaks lore and, you know, just the show and just loving everything about it, I honestly don't even think about it. You know, Philip Jeffries is just one of those things that I think is cool. I think is interesting. I really don't put much thought into it just because he was a character in Fire Walk With Me for like all of like a minute. And yeah, they boost his character history in this incarnation of it. But we still don't have a lot to go on, as
almost nothing.
So in essence, I mean, I give it as much thought as where does Lil come from? You know, I mean, it's like if Philip Jeffries was Gordon Cole's partner, that's what I want to see more than anything. Is
absolutely.
Can you imagine? Just imagine a young David Lynch and a young David Bowie just running around solving crimes. See, personally, I can't imagine that. So I would love to see it just so I could have that in my brain. But when Philip Jeffries comes walking in at 2:50 in the afternoon in Fire Walk With Me into that office, which we saw on the Fire Walk With Me watch along we did. Do you get the feeling that Gordon Cole and Philip Jeffries were partners at one point from that scene? See, I don't, but then again, you know, I mean, I don't say that I can't see it if I, you know, look at it from that perspective. I'm just wondering, when they were doing Fire Walk With Me, did David Lynch in his mind with Bob Ingalls have that, not a full backstory, but did they think like, oh, Philip Jeffries, you know, wasn't just an FBI agent, he was a partner of Gordon Cole back in the back. Yeah. I don't think so, but I would love to be wrong.
I mean, I don't know, because that scene is just so short and he just seems confused. So I don't know there's no real.
Who is more confused in that scene, Philip Jeffries or the audience? That's what I want.
Good question. Probably Jeffries. I don't know. He seems lost. We see him. He doesn't even know where he is.
Yeah, well, who knows where David Bowie is today, but I wish him well.
Oh, yes.
All right. In the mail I got today. You ready for this? I got my own Twin Peaks Agent Cooper bobblehead, but look which one I got.
I see you got the Red Room edition.
I got the Red Room. Yours just has...
It's just a wooden floor.
Right. And so when I went online to get that, or at least look at it, show that again. You got to talk.
The floor.
Yeah.
See, this one just has a wooden floor, nondescript.
Right.
I mean, the rest is the same, I think.
So Right. So I went online to look at that to see, I'm picking that up. And I saw this one. This is actually $10 more than yours. And the only thing difference is that there's oops, there's the floor. That's the only difference. And it's $10 more.
Don't you love it?
You could just paint yours, Joe.
Yeah, seriously.
You could just paint it. But anyway, I got this cool little thing. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but hey, it's got the familiar Cooper thing over here. Yes. Oh, look, they advertise both of them in the back, like
they didn't even bother changing up like his pose at all.
Right. I mean, I would love to get like a Laura and Ronette bobblehead, but that might make some people very horny. So I'm glad they didn't go with those.
We have so many Lauras now, though.
Yeah. Well, this is not Twin Peaks news, but I just want to share this with people because some people might not know this exists. And that is Criterion put out The Breakfast Club finally. And one of the special features on it is an hour of deleted scenes that comes from John Hughes' original work print that he had, I think, on VHS in his office that Premiere Magazine talked about, I think, like 20 years ago. And I remember thinking, God, wouldn't that be great to ever see that released? Well, it's not incorporated into the film, but at least we get to see it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And apparently it does say property of Universal Pictures at the bottom. So people won't be able to snip it back in and make a fan cut, or at least, they're trying to stop that. But anyway, just let people know Criterion Breakfast Club, super awesome. Or as I said the other night, hashtag super fun.
Oh yeah. Super fun.
Yeah. That's better than super fun.
You need to get t-shirts made. Super fun. Obnoxious and anonymous.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the other big news, which was the collective mourning that happened last night when Kyle MacLachlan did not win Best Actor in a Limited Series at the Golden Globes.
Yes.
Listen, is it an honor just to be nominated? Of course it is. I had my tweet ready to go saying congratulations, but I don't want to be a naysayer, but like I kind of thought maybe he wouldn't win just because of the people he was up against.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be wrong. You know what I mean? I
felt the same way.
I wasn't out there saying he's going to lose, but I was just thinking, I just don't think he's going to win, but I want him to, but he's probably not. And so I just tried to stay neutral, but I had my tweet ready so I could be super happy. And then when it didn't happen, I still posted the tweet anyway. I'm like, I'm still posting this. And, and it's funny. I also posted that scene from Harry when he was drunk and Cooper's consoling him, and Harry says,
"Oh yes, I saw
it. There's so much I don't understand." But I was still happy for him. I mean, and he was super classy about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never been not classy. At least not in public, at least, where he just came out and was just like, hey, was thrilled to be here. Thank you for all the fan support. And, it was just great being here with my beautiful wife. And wow, I mean, Kyle is he is the man, right? Forget about Mike. I mean, Kyle is the man.
I mean, I can attest. I mean, yeah. No doubt about it.
Do you have any theories, just to throw it out there? Just let's start some discussion here. Do you have any theories about why he did lose?
My easy theory, like the ballpark answer, is just like not a Twin Peaks crowd.
Well, couldn't you figure that since the show itself wasn't nominated?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, we give it to Kyle. We know Kyle's a good actor already. He did 3 roles. I don't know. It just.
Right.
Like, I loved him in the role, but I don't know.
Nick in the chat says, I turned the TV off right after he lost.
I almost did.
Oh, I just watched the whole thing. Why not? Why not?
I mean, our Laura Dern won, not for Twin Peaks, but she won.
Right. And, even though she, won for Big Little Lies, a show that takes place in my town.
Awesome.
Which they're coming back this spring to shoot season 2. So it's not a limited series anyway. But that being said, Laura Dern's character of Diane was also hashtag Me Too. I mean, she was sexually assaulted as well in this.
This is true.
In the Twin Peaks season 3. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have a theory about why I think Kyle didn't win, but it's hard for me to know because I haven't seen Ewan McGregor in Fargo.
Yeah, same.
I'm hoping that Ewan's win allows season 3 of Fargo to be on Blu-ray instead of just the DVD release that they threw out there.
Right, yeah.
Because it's the only season they haven't put on Blu-ray. Okay, here's my theory about why Kyle didn't win, right? Because he honestly should have just stampeded over everybody.
I agree.
In terms of performance, I think he was great. Okay, so I'm not dismaying anything that he gave to us, but I think that Mr. C comes in the first 4 episodes as such a formidable villain, right? And then there's several episodes in the middle where he just kind of just hangs out or drives a truck. Mm-hmm. And then his character is kind of dispatched kind of unceremoniously and a little bit anticlimactic. It's just kind of like, all right, well, there it is.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Cooper, I think he's pretty solid in those first 2 episodes. And then he's only as Cooper, as the Cooper we're supposed to know, for like 5 minutes, basically. And then he's this Cooper / Richard type of character in the last part. So I think that's a little confusing. It wasn't the nostalgia trip, right? So even voters are just like, well, it wasn't really Cooper,
Yeah, what are we seeing here?
I mean, I think he's great as Mr. C, but I think he was better in the role than some of the writing allowed him to be in the second half of the series, because he's amazing in those interrogation scenes, right? He's actually he's scarier behind the glass than he is just walking in the dirt road.
It's just the way they lit it and all that stuff,
and the voice, and just and all. It's amazing. I love those scenes. I mean, he's so just so scary and so intense. And then when he's just hanging out with Hutch and Chantel on the farm, it's just like he's just hanging out with Hutch and Chantel on the farm. You know what I mean? It's not, you don't really fear him.
There's he has moments, but then everything leading to the moments are there's like a lull in that character.
Right. And again, I'm not complaining because I love the show. I'm just trying to look at it from like a voter perspective and just say, well, the writing wasn't as consistent as we'd want those characters to be. I think that Cooper as Dougie alone, while it may have annoyed a lot of people, I think that shows a consistency of performance, though, that probably should have won. Just because it's taken to a whole other level, because it's funny, but it's also bittersweet, and it's not just making him into a buffoon. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pathos there. Like when he's standing outside of the statue and that sad music's playing, and the security guard's just like, "Sir, do you need help?" It's not played as like on the air, like just boing, but he's just a doofus, right?
Do you think those moments are so tender because of the context we already had with the first 2, or do you think they would be tender just to somebody coming into it?
I think that you could understand it on one level, but obviously, if you watch seasons 1 and 2 and Fire Walk with Me, those are other levels.
So I'm worried that a lot of the people that sort of made the decisions didn't have that context of season 1, 2 in the movie. So when they saw those Dougie scenes where it's quiet and he's kind of, there, they're like, what's happening? Is he just like, what's going on in his head?
Well, if they don't get it, which is the Hollywood Foreign Press, right? And people over in Europe love David Lynch. What's the Emmys going to think?
I don't know. I don't know what the temperament is.
I still am shocked. I mean, the Golden Globes are silly regardless, but I'm still am shocked that that Twin Peaks wasn't nominated for Best Series, right? Even if you liked parts of it, or you loved all of it, or you didn't like it, I mean, you have to admit it was pretty ambitious, And if anything else, I mean, Part 8 alone shows you how ambitious it is,
Oh yeah.
because it decided to stop the narrative halfway through and give you this huge like prologue episode that in many ways is about nothing, but in many ways is the creation of everything.
Yeah, everything.
So I don't know. I think it's a very impressive show. I think Kyle was great. I think that there's probably a whole other bunch of layers to it, because like Lynch and Showtime, they didn't really play the game that a lot of
Absolutely, I agree with that so much.
and there's a saying that goes around Hollywood that the Golden Globes is the last award show that Hollywood studios can buy. So I'm not saying that it's what happened with FX and Ewan McGregor, but FX, this is not their first time around the block. They know how to, wheel and deal and play the games and, wine and dine, but Showtime and Lynch seem to be like, let's just let the work speak for itself. And what does that get you? A loss.
Yeah.
So,
no, I feel the same. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
does it deserve a loss? No, but there's a lot of politics behind this as well, and I think it's very telling that only Kyle was nominated and nothing else was,
David Lynch himself wasn't nominated for Gordon or Laura Dern for Diane. Well, she was already there for Big Little.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Big Little Lies is going to trump anything over Twin Peaks because it's the more commercial of the two. And it's got a whole movement behind it too. So it's all politics. Yeah. And you can't. What are they going to do? They're gonna turn their back on Big Little Lies and that kind of thing that showcases all these important issues, or are they going to highlight Twin Peaks where the scene the cameraman literally pans down to show Krista Bell walking away? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's fair enough. It makes sense.
Doesn't mean that I agree with it. I'm just saying that you have to look at it from this political narrative as well. That.
I mean, that show's impactful in the now, whereas Twin Peaks, it's it can be impactful, but just not in the way that is sort of timely, I guess.
Right. Nick says, when they said his name for the nominees and the camera went on his face, I had a big smile on my face.
So did he.
Well, I think a lot of us did, because it was really the second time they only showed him in the entire.
I know. I was like, I would catch him in the corner. I'd be like, oh, there he is. There he is.
Right. Matthias says, I watched Fargo and Ian was good, but Kyle was better. They just love giving awards to big Hollywood names. Well, maybe. Again, it's all a game there. Jason says, lots of celebs remarking on Kyle's behalf too, not just the Twin Peaks cast.
Spin put out an article that he was robbed. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, how does Ewan McGregor feel about that? It's not his fault.
No, yeah, it's not. He had nothing to do with it. I don't think.
And again, was he robbed? That's opinion. I mean, you can't.
Yes, a big Fargo fan say yeah, he deserves it. So.
You can't factually prove that he was robbed. I mean, did Ewan McGregor come up behind him and put a lightsaber, through his pelvis and be like, that award's mine?
That's mine.
Yeah. So
I don't know. The high ground.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Go try.
But Kyle wouldn't be like, I hate you. But yeah, people in the chat are saying it's the year of Laura Dern. It certainly is. Big, obviously, Big Little Lies, Star Wars, Twin Peaks. Was there something else she was in? Probably.
Yes, I can't think of it right now though.
But this is the biggest year she's had in a long time. I mean, frankly, when you see her in Inland Empire, you're almost thinking, wow, I hope Laura Dern's not on her way to becoming a direct-to-DVD actress. No, I'm serious, because you know what I mean? Because once you do something like Inland Empire, how do you climb back up from I'm not saying that movie's bad. I'm just saying that it was a shot on home video camera, David Lynch art house movie. You know, that's usually something Chloe Sevigny does, not Laura Dern. You know, so obviously she is a huge supporter of David Lynch and has been for, you know, many years.
She's just so massive. I don't know. Laura Dern, she's just like, she is that ball of light. The glowing orb that Laura.
And I think she's amazing in Blue Velvet, right? I love her in Blue Velvet. But I would argue that Laura Dern does not have the career she has unless David Lynch sexes her up as Lula in Wild at Heart.
That's how she strikes the match, at least. He struck the match.
Well, Wild at Heart got her Ramblin' Rose, and then that got her an Oscar nomination for Best Actress, and then that translated into Jurassic Park.
Which is what my first Dern movie.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments in Jurassic Park is when she's going to run into the raptor room, you know, where the raptor area is, so she can turn the power on and off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do this whole shot of her character from the back, and the cameraman's like chasing from behind.
When she's like limping almost and running down the hallway.
No, it's outside when she's running in.
Okay.
And you can totally tell it's a stunt man with a blonde wig on. It's amazing.
I never noticed that.
It's not even a stunt woman; it's a stunt man with a blonde wig on.
Now I'm going to try to look for that.
Oh, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. But yeah, you know, but Laura Dern has really exploded. I mean, you had, what was that HBO show she did? Enlightened, or was it? It was Enlightened, right? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's done a lot of other things, you know, but yeah, this year she just hit all cylinders, and it was just like, bam! She reminded everybody Laura Dern's here.
Mm-hmm. With a vengeance, and she's like getting her friend. Like, it's just like this power community now that she's establishing. So we're gonna see a lot of Laura Dern in the next couple of years, I think.
Right. But who knows if she'll return for season 4. That being said, all of a sudden out of nowhere, we got bombarded with about 65 articles a couple days ago saying that Showtime has left the door open for season 4, but no offer has been given to David Lynch, but except to say, you're welcome to come in and pitch to us when you're ready. And I couldn't believe how one article from Variety translated into literally 65 other articles on every conceivable website. You know, I think even ESPN.com had an article about it. So, you know, it's unbelievable. Everybody's just clinging to this idea about Twin Peaks coming back, yet nobody's watching it. You know,
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the numbers. I feel like they're so off. They're so skewed. There's something off. There really is.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a lot off at the moment. Let me tell you. Let's see. Twin Peaks Outside the City Limits says Laura Dern was on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Right.
And Last Man on Earth last year. So
I haven't seen that.
Now, David, who is the one who runs the Twin Peaks Outside the City Limits channel, I have a question for you. And my question is this. Why do you subscribe to my channel and then unsubscribe, and then like 2 weeks later subscribe again, and then unsubscribe, and then subscribe again, and then unsubscribe? I don't understand. Just stay subscribed if you like the channel. Do you have that, Joey, on your channel where people just come and go and come back?
I must. I don't really check, but I know people that do it, and I don't really get it. I don't do that to anybody. I don't unsubscribe for like a day for a video, and then I feel like that's a lot of effort.
Oh, he says, I'm good. I'm here now for good, Cam. Good. Because every time it says, oh, you got a new subscriber, and I look, and it's like, I'm like, he's back? Like, I didn't know he left.
All right, you get the notification emails.
Sometimes, yeah. Let's see. Melissa in the chat says she only watches the Golden Globes for fashion. Tina says the Emmy Awards are much more prestigious than the Golden Globes. Of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
Crossing fingers that Twin Peaks and Kyle gets nominations. I think, okay, if I was to be a betting person, I think Kyle still gets a nomination. Because I just don't see how you can snub him even for a nomination. You know what I mean? Just an achievement.
I feel like the Emmys might be his time.
You think he's going to win the Emmy?
I want to believe.
All right, X-Files. Listen, I want him to win. I would be jumping up and down like a crazy person if he won. It all depends on who he's up against, you know? He was up against Ewan McGregor, Robert De Niro, Jude Law, and Jeffrey Rush.
I believe so.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Big timers.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking if it wasn't Kyle, it would be Jude Law, but then Ian came in.
Yeah, I don't know. So, you know, I was prepared for anything, but as the day went on, I kept thinking, I don't know. And I kept thinking, oh my God, there's so many people on Twitter that are going to riot if he doesn't win. Thankfully, that didn't happen, except, okay, my favorite thing that I saw online came on Facebook on one of the Twin Peaks pages that I admin on. And I forgot who said it, so I apologize. But the best thing I saw about the entire thing was a woman wrote, he may not have won the award, but he won our hearts this year.
I think I saw that.
And I was like, nothing else needs to be said. There it is. Look, he never lost my heart, but, you know, he just reminded me why I love him so much. Because for so long, I had to watch him as an impotent man on Sex in the City, or as a dumbass mayor in Portlandia, or a
I love him as the mayor, though.
or a wheelchair. I'm not saying he's bad in these parts. Okay, I'm just saying that he's been abused by women for 20 years in movies and TV shows, and it was, you know, I wanted to see him be a man again, and you know, Dougie needed a lot of help from Janie E, but you know, when he, you know, kind of comes around, he's just like, Janie, scoot over, I'm driving. It was like, okay, there's the Kyle I have not seen in 30 years. So it was great to see him. All right, let me just see if there's anybody. Cindy says, I love him in Portlandia. Laugh out loud. Hey, I'm not knocking him. I want to make it very clear. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying for so long, he just was given a certain type of role. And I wanted to see him be in charge again, as opposed to being like mentally abused by people.
I mean, I hate to say it, but the first role I remember seeing him in was the Flintstones movie.
Oh my! Didn't he have like some like slicked up like?
Yeah, it was like kind of to the side and all gelled.
You know what? To be honest, I never saw that movie because I saw him and Halle Berry look like that, and I was like, I love John Goodman, but I was like, I can't do this. You know, this is Kyle MacLachlan. He's my Agent Cooper. He can't just be in a Flintstone outfit and that hairdo. You know what I mean? I haven't
seen it in a long time, but I used to have his action figure.
Oh my God.
I wish I still had it.
Oh my God. That'd be worth so much on, at least on the Twitter sphere.
I have to find it. I hope I still have it.
Oh boy. George says, yeah, I remember the Flintstones. Kyle was a cartoonish villain. Well, at least he wasn't a realistic Joe Pesci Goodfellas type of villain, and that would be insane. Brand says, yes, I love Kyle even more with each rewatch. Melissa says his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s character was totally off the rails, which I haven't seen, but I heard he was great on that show as well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh. See, I watched the first season. I didn't get into it, though.
I guess he was the villain in season 4 or season 5, one of those two.
Huh.
So, you know, I'm glad he's getting work. You know, that's great. He's a talented, amazing actor, and it seems like truly one of the most humblest people around.
I mean, when I met him, he was the nicest I could have ever imagined.
I think that he's just so appreciative that, one, he's still working in the business, and two, people love him as much as they do. You know, there's not one person that's like, I hate Kyle MacLachlan. I mean, you know what I mean? I never seen one person, maybe Lara Flynn Boyle, I don't know, but I personally have not seen one person online go, Kyle MacLachlan is a terrible human being and I hate him. I see nothing but just love.
There's no foundation to that. Like, if you hate Kyle MacLachlan, I want to know why, and it's probably a lie. Like, I don't believe any. I wouldn't believe it even if you told me.
Yeah, he seems like he would probably be just like the coolest friend to have in your circle. If for nothing else, to get free wine.
His wine is delicious, so yes.
Oh, really? What's it like?
I got the Syrah, so I like bitter wine, so it was bitter, but there was a sweetness to it. I watched it a little bit before the finale aired. I really liked it, and I'm not a big wine person, so.
Yeah, Phoenix says Mr. C is one of the most frightening, ominous, enigmatic villain monsters ever created. I will agree and I will disagree. I think you are correct in many circumstances. I just don't think that monster was allowed to truly flourish in the series. I think that he's in many ways sedated through most of it. He's very, he's just driving a truck. You know what I mean?
No, I would say we didn't see the worst of Mr. C.
No, not at all. In fact, I okay, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Kyle really was against Fire Walk with me. One of the reasons why he didn't want to do it is because he thought it was too dark, right? Mm-hmm. So I wonder if one of the conditions of Kyle coming back was that if a lot of the stuff that Mr. C did that was dark had already happened prior to the series beginning. Because we never get that. We never get a flashback to him and Audrey in the hospital.
No.
We don't, so, I mean, the worst thing we see is him killing Daria, and Daria is a criminal in his circle who just betrayed him. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's brutal, but it's understandable, right? We didn't see Agent Cooper, we didn't see Mr. C come in and do the kind of things that Richard Horne was doing in this series.
Yeah, he was most deplorable.
I think Richard Horne is worse than Mr. C. At least
in what we see. Yeah.
In what we see. Obviously not in full context, but in what we see, Richard Horne is more of a scumbag in the series than Mr. C. And I wonder if Cooper was like, or Kyle, sorry, saying, I don't mind playing the bad guy, but can we temper him down? Can you imagine if like Mr. C was doing that to, like, instead of Audrey's mother, if that was Mr. C grabbing Audrey by the throat, saying all those horrible things to her and calling her the C word, stuff like that, then I would say to you, yes, Mr. C is one of the most deplorable monsters I've ever seen on a screen. But he was pretty chill most of the series,
I mean, and I'm trying to think, the only innocent person he killed was Frank, right? Like, directly. The mechanic guy.
Yeah, but we didn't even see it.
Yeah, we just saw the face rub.
That's it, And again, I'm not complaining because he did what he had to do. That was the material given. I'm just saying that a lot of the horrible things Mr. C did all happened before season 3 begins.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
George in the chat is saying the Daria murder was brutal. Of course it was. No one's arguing that. I'm just saying that it's something you typically see in a film noir type of thing where there's a double cross and. And
I mean, you don't even actually see it happen. He puts the pillow over and then.
But still, I mean, there's kills somebody.
Rough. It's rough.
It's rough, but it's not Richard Horne rough. Okay, Richard Horne grabs that woman at the roadhouse, just assaulting her right in front of her friends, or then he goes and assaults the grandmother and all that.
I mean, I would say the scariest scene the whole season is the moments leading up to him hitting the little boy. My heart was in my throat during those scenes. I knew it was coming, and then it happened. It was just You wanted it to throw up.
and he didn't even stop.
Yeah.
So
That was the most horrific thing about the new season to me.
Yeah, I think Richard Horn is truly like the big bad of season 3, more than Mr. C.
I'd agree.
I mean, Mr. C just kind of sits in a chair at the end and gets plugged by Lucy. I mean, there's not,
The thing with Mr. C, he's very technical. Richard Horn was unhinged. So
right. See, that to me, maybe that's what it is, because Richard Horn reminded me of Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet as a young kid.
Just insane.
Right. So I was like, oh, I want this guy taken care of. I mean, I'm glad he burnt up to a crisp on a rock. I don't know. There was, think about this. Richard Horn was given a lot, and I'm not complaining, but he was given a lot of screen time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and we see him, trying to kill Miriam. I mean, look at her in the bushes.
That was another scene. Yeah.
It was horrible. Like I said, I just think Richard Horn is the true villain of season 3.
I would agree completely.
So, they said, oh yeah, Mr. C also shot Hastings' wife too. But again, she was part of the group and a double crosser. You know what I mean? So he wasn't just, Mr. C didn't just mow down a kid in the road and then go, ha ha ha, and then keep driving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and go to clean off the blood and be pissed off that there's blood on the car.
Right. So, let's see here.
Ridiculous.
Let's see. George says, plus the hits he hired Hutch and Chantel to do. Yes, but Mr. C got Hutch and Chantel to do them.
Yeah, it's indirect.
Yeah. So, in many ways, he got to play the bad guy, but he wasn't truly like, you know what I mean? He wasn't like killing people left and right. And right. He wasn't Richard Horn. But like I said, in the prison stuff, he was so formidable. I think even the first 2 hours when he's in the motel with Daria and all that, like he's such like you're like, oh my, this is a powerful villain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm not knocking anything about the show. I'm just saying that for the next 5 episodes, he's just driving a truck.
But the thing, I think we go back to the arm wrestling scene. That just shows you what kind of villain Mr. C is. Very calculated. He could do this crazy amount of evil if he wanted to, but he's not. He has a focus. He has a line. Right.
I mean, when Derek Mears punches him in the back of the head, you think Mr. C's going to just turn around and just kill him right there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's going to play with his food.
Exactly.
So, I like that a lot. Let's see. Melissa says Richard Horn had Mr. C's evil and Audrey's flightiness. Norman says Mr. C did attempt to kill Frank Truman. Did he try to kill him, or was he just trying to get him to move out of that chair? I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm kidding.
I mean, he only killed him when he figured out that he had been, he was caught pretty much. When he figured out that Cooper was calling him, that's when he tried to kill him, because it's like, he's like, oh, this, they got me.
Right.
So he freaked out.
Danielle's in the chat. She says, what makes Richard scary is that he is half Audrey, so he has some humanity in him. He most likely chooses to be evil, whereas Mr. C is just inherently bad.
Interesting. I like that philosophy.
Linda says, how is it that Mrs. Hastings knew Mr. C? I mean, she said to him, what are you doing here? Well, she was just, part of his setup plan.
Mm-hmm.
And he
wanted the coordinates from Bill.
Right.
So
well, he's the puppet master. He's got this whole thing going on in New York over here, and he's got this thing over here, and who
knows what in South America.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, there's so much that wasn't really explored.
If they ever want to fill it in, they have 25 years worth of God knows what.
Right. Exactly. I mean, there's so much to. They built so much in this season that I would be shocked if they don't ever explore this ever again. I mean, come on, people. The final dossier, I don't think so.
There's so much, though. It's like, why would you leave it that open to do nothing with it?
Right.
Like, even if you touch this, there's still all of this. So, I don't know.
Phoenix says, in the end, Twin Peaks Limited Series is a flawed masterpiece.
I like that.
It is. It does have flaws. It does. Like that's why when I see people on Twitter just going, it was a flat out masterpiece. There was nothing wrong with it. I'm like, there's some things that we can discuss. Doesn't mean they're wrong, but you can't flat out just say everything was perfect from start to finish. There's discussion points through the entire thing that you can say, was this the best move? Should they have done this? What about this? I mean, we've had those discussions throughout season 3 and after.
For 6 months now, it feels like.
Right. So now, to me, that's what makes the series great, is because it engages conversations. I can't do this with, some other random show, right? So that's cool to me.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think everything was as perfect as it could be. There's a little too much exposition going on where people just sit and just like Gordon just unleashes all this information. It almost seems like they ran out of money and so they had to just spill the information. Yeah. Again, is that a complaint? No, I'm just saying that, there's little things here and there that I think sometimes I don't think sometimes it looks cinematic. I think sometimes it just, everyone's like, it's a movie. There's some things that are very movie-ish, and there's a lot of things that just seem very
like a Showtime show,
like a Showtime show, right? And that's not a complaint. I'm just saying that the quality control sometimes fluctuates here and there.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, we've talked about all the. I mean, I praise the show left, right, and center, but this show is not as entertaining if we just sit around and just kiss the show's ass for an hour. I mean, the point is just having discussions about things,
and that's ultimately what they want,
right?
Creators,
and even then, like
want.
Right, and it's like, to me, I feel like, okay, Mr. C, kind of sputtered out for a while in the middle of the series. Does that take away from Kyle's performance? No. I mean, he's doing what is asked to be done. I just didn't find him that scary as the series went on as he was in the first 4 episodes. I felt like nervous. I mean, the way he's introduced to the American Woman song, all slowed down.
That, yeah.
And what's really scary is that, like, if you remember back in the day when Lenny Kravitz did American Woman, the music video was Heather Graham in like a bikini dancing around.
Right. I forgot about that.
Right. So it was like, oh no, where are we going with this? So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. So.
Fun fact.
Robert says, pacing seems to be a common complaint with the series.
I think that's just a Lynch thing.
Cynic Kill says, dead end seems to be a common complaint.
Dead end?
Dead ends.
Oh.
Where like things start, a subplot happens and then it just stops.
That's it, yeah.
You have to look at it from just like individual scenes. I think that like those Roadhouse scenes, with everyone sitting at the tables. Do I think they fit into the overall show? Not if you're going to condense it into like a 3-hour movie, no. But if you look at them as scenes unto themselves, are they fine? Are they well done? Are they well made? Sure. I just think that for a show that was so unpredictable in so many ways, every time it cut back to the Roadhouse to 2 or 3 more people talking in a booth and a song playing, that's where it became kind of depressing to me, because it was like, are we going to end almost every episode with a strange couple talking at a booth and then a song that no one cares about? Now I love this music, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, when you first are watching the show, you're like, is this how every episode's going to end? Right? It just became a little bit like every time I went to the Roadhouse at the end of the episode, it was like, oh, it's over already.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're going to spend 7 minutes with this song. It's like, that's precious time that we could be like divulging information.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying, again, more world building. This is what's happening outside of your group in Twin Peaks. This girl has a rash on her arm.
Like, right. I mean, again, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, you have to look at. See, back in the day, when you looked at Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart and the first season of Twin Peaks, there were tangents that Lynch would do, but those tangents worked as individual scenes, but also contributing to the overall narrative or feeling of the narrative, right? But ever since Lost Highway, he's gotten further and further from that. Now, someone could say, "Well, what about Mulholland Drive?" Mulholland Drive began as a TV series, so he went back to that kind of Twin Peaks, original Twin Peaks feel. And then when he added that ending, he did his thing. But Straight Story too. I mean, he can do normal if he wants to, but he chooses to, like Inland Empire, which is, I'm going to shoot this scene. I love this scene. So I'm going to write it well. I'm going to act. They're going to act it well. I'm going to shoot it well. And if it fits, be damn. You know what I mean? Like, it just, like, you know what I mean? It's like the scenes, he's so happy in the moment that he doesn't care about the big picture as much, right?
I feel that, yeah.
Whereas if you look at Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart and Twin Peaks, the original series, stuff like that, I think he very much cared about the overall picture as well as the tiniest detail. Whereas now I just feel like, again, this is not a complaint. This is just showing you the evolution of an artist. He has chosen to ignore the idea of the overall big picture and is just into and is in love with the tiniest of details. And, you have to appreciate it on that level sometimes.
No, yeah, it's really beautiful because it's like the David Lynch we see now is almost like art school, like film school, art school David Lynch meets, the director David Lynch and TV director David Lynch. They're just kind of this one big thing all at once now, instead of being separate incarnations of him.
Right. Now, George is saying, I think the Roadhouse scenes with the random characters kind of related to Audrey. Yeah, I mean, I that's what it seems like because they're all referencing the same names, but who knows? Melissa says, I would have credited that actress as Itchy Armpit Rash Girl.
Sky Ferreira.
Yeah.
I love her music, by the way. I thought she was going to be one of the musical guests when I first read the cast list.
Well, someone had an idea the other day, which I thought would have been brilliant, is that Chris Isaac should have shown up as a musical guest and just blown our minds. Like,
I don't know if that would have made me really upset or I would have been totally okay.
No, if they had said, up next, Chet Desmond, and then he plays Baby Did a Bad Thing. Actually, no, I would have had him play Wicked Game. That would have been awesome. And then, like, in the background, you just have Sailor and Lula dancing over there. It'd be cool. See, that's a tangent I could have gotten behind. Phoenix says the canvas Lynch created was so vast he would have needed another 5 years to hone it to perfection.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't think Lynch cares about perfection anymore. I really don't. I think that he cares about the right mood, the right feeling, the right acting, the right writing for that moment. And then he just that's what matters to him, right? And then in the editing room, it's just like, well, it was right then. So, either we make it work or we cut it out or whatever.
Yeah.
He's happy in the moment and that's what matters. I don't think he's looking at like, well, does this make sense to the overall narrative of the piece? I don't think he's thinking that way anymore.
That's where Mark Frost comes in.
Yes, but Mark Frost apparently left to go write his book halfway through the production. I mean, I when you watch the making of it, he's there in a lot of the scenes. But
I was like, wait, why aren't they talking to him more? I don't understand.
They just kind of have him in the background. But I don't know when exactly he left to start writing his book, which was going to be one book, if you remember, The Secret Lives of Twin Peaks. That's what it was called. And then it became separated into two, Secret History and The Final Dossier. But all of that was supposed to be one huge book. Oh yeah, by the way, I did invite Mark Frost to come on to the podcast.
Oh, really?
So I haven't gotten any word yet.
That would be so freaking cool.
Yeah, he'll probably take me to task though. So what did you say about my book? You know, I'll be like, oh, listen, I own it over there, Mark. I swear, Mr. Frost, I own your book.
I love Mark Frost so much.
No, I do too. And even if look, I mean, you can disagree with artists about things, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
that doesn't mean that I don't respect the man. You know, I mean, I think that his episode he directed in season 1, the finale episode, is one of the best episodes of the whole series. It's great.
But I know he co-created the thing that we've been talking about for months, for years.
Yeah. So yeah. But people have been liking that tweet and retweeting it and stuff like that. So maybe we'll get.
I didn't see that one. I have to get on.
So maybe that will get his attention. That'll be cool. And let me go to the chat real quick, and then we will discuss the update.
The update.
Yes, the insane update of what's going on. Okay, so here we go. As you guys may know, a few days ago, I did a podcast with Mandy, and a lot of people were, because the Queen of Hearts campaign was on its last like 3 days. And so people were like, oh, you got to figure out a way to extend it, because now you're getting publicity because Krista Bell tweeted about it. You know, now that people are kind of waking up to the fact that you're doing this, you know, you got to extend it. And I was like, well, I don't want to extend it longer, you know, because it seemed like that Indiegogo had something where you could extend it for months, and I didn't want to do that. But and it turns out I couldn't do that anyway. But a viewer named Carolina contacted me and said, hey, your campaign was for 45 days, and Indiegogo will allow you to go to 60 days, and you can change it even mid-campaign. So I was like, okay, an additional 15 days. I'm good with that, and that's what everybody was asking for in the chat. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. I was like, let's do it. 2 more weeks. So I changed it to 2 more weeks, and I posted it on Facebook. And if you don't know, Queen of Hearts has its own Facebook page now. So you can follow the Obnoxious Anonymous Facebook page, but also please join the Queen of Hearts Facebook page as well. Also has its own Twitter account too. It's just so that I don't drive everybody nuts with all these tweets. But anyway, so that came through. I posted on Facebook, posted on Twitter. It got dozens and dozens of likes, a lot of retweets, a lot of people super happy, you know, everything. The campaign has been relatively quiet since then. Luckily, a friend of mine donated $1,200 to the campaign yesterday. So let me tell you where we are right now in the campaign.
Jeez.
Okay, so we are at 60% raised of 25,000, 297 backers. We have $15,055, and it's 14 days left. So we literally have 2 weeks to raise the remaining 10,000, preferably more, because Indiegogo does take the percentage out. Now, the other day, Indiegogo reached out to me and said that, hey, you might want to look at this campaign and this, and you might want to tweak this and tweak that. So I took some of their suggestions and applied it. But one of the things they showed me was that there was a Twin Peaks tarot card set. And the person that was doing it asked for $5,000 to make them. And they raised like $75,000.
I saw that.
Right. So it's possible to raise.
People are there.
People are there. And I know people are watching these podcasts. I know people are liking the tweets and liking the Facebook messages and, retweeting stuff. I mean, I have celebrities liking and retweeting. I have tons of people in the community liking and retweeting. And that's great. We get thousands watching these podcasts, and yet it's like a snail with the donations coming in. So this is really fascinating to me. It kind of is showing me that I was right, saying that if I extended the campaign, that people would still wait until the last few days to donate. Because I was hoping that people would take advantage of, oh, it's got 2 weeks, cool, and just round the clock, let's hammer this thing home until it's done. Nope. The moment everyone was happy there was 2 weeks left, it seemed like everyone took a collective sigh and said, "Okay, I'll come back in 10 days."
Yeah.
So I really hope that you guys, aren't just sitting around waiting to do this, because the end of the date is gonna, the end of the campaign is gonna come sooner than later. And obviously, if it doesn't make the goal, you get your money back, which is fantastic. But then the film doesn't get made either. So there is the dilemma, Joey. The other thing, and I've said this before, but I just want to repeat it again. I find it very interesting that this campaign is getting a lot of attention online. In fact, in some ways, it's getting more attention than the Showtime pop-ups. If you hashtag Twin Peaks, it's amazing how many people are talking about it. Mm-hmm. We have celebrities liking it and retweeting it, telling people to support it. Jake Wardle, Krista Bell, there's a few others out there. We've had a number of guests on here in the last week or so, really helping us push this thing. Why hasn't just a rinky-dink film blog picked up this story yet to write a blurb about it? That's what I want to know.
Question.
Right? I'm not talking about Variety and those kind of things. I'm talking about just, how many film blogs do we know that are out there? Nobody picks up the fact that
countless
that all these Twin Peaks people are like supporting this thing, and it's raising $15,000 in the community. And how do you explain that to me?
Not even only the film blogs, like the filmmaker blogs, people that check on these indie go Kickstarter films and see how they're keep up with their fundraising, just to inspire other people. I'm surprised. Not even those blogs, nor the film blogs, but not even like the production filmmaking side either.
Yeah, I don't understand. Let's see here. Melissa says, I'm trying to tweet and Facebook your cause as much as I can. I appreciate everything you guys do. See this little thing right here? Obviously, this hashtag Save Annie. This was something I put up, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. It's sort of like, oh, what would be a cool hashtag, Save Annie? I thought that'd be kind of funny. And then Krista Bell used it and just flat out hashtag Save Annie. So I think that's what we need to go with for the next 2 weeks. And I'm thinking about, listen, it's probably going to drive people nuts, but I'm thinking about doing a full like Twitter blitz where I'm going to be posting, 10 to 12 times a day, hashtag Save Annie. And I think if a bunch of us did it, we could get, I know this is crazy, but I think we could get Save Annie to start trending on Twitter. It doesn't take that.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that many tweets for something to trend. You just gotta keep going. So
and the thing is people. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, listen, we have a ton of people. That watch these podcasts, and a ton of them tweet, and a lot of them tweet Twin Peaks stuff all day long. Mm-hmm. Okay. I say that whether you're tweeting about my film or you just throw out a random picture, like every time you throw out a Twin Peaks picture out there, put the Indiegogo link with it and hashtag Save Annie on every Twin Peaks post you put out.
You guys have 280 characters now. No excuse.
I think that would be it. You can put your funny little Twin Peaks saying, and then underneath it, put the Indiegogo link, hashtag Save Annie, and send that out on every Twin Peaks tweet you put out. That thing would be trending like no tomorrow.
And don't forget, there's also recommended trending things. So people that normally do like Twin Peaks or tweet about it, maybe they haven't seen this yet. If Save Annie does get a lot of tweets, it might show up on the recommended trending list too. So even if it doesn't go massive, it might still show up for the people that would be interested.
And honestly, I would love to see it trend, but I'd also love to see, because we gotta get some of these film blog things to wake up a little bit, because obviously they're asleep at the wheel and they need to go, whoa, what's happening here? I mean, they write about the most insane things, like, this person at Warner Brothers, had a thought about maybe one day in 10 years he'll make a Superman movie. Like, that's an article, right? But Krista Bell saying that every Twin Peaks fan should support this is not an article. I don't understand. We got some cool people in the chat right now. Brian says, Cameron, you have great friends. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do. I have people like Joey that come and do podcasts with me on a short notice. George is here saying, y'all better be donating. Let's see. George says also, I donated today. That's fantastic. Thank you.
I know a lot of people watching have donated multiple times. So
yeah,
definitely shout out to them.
No, they have been going above and beyond. We just got to get all the other ones that just kind of sit back and go, hey, I like things for free. And again, we do these podcasts for free, and we don't charge you for any of this stuff. And we've been doing this for years, and I mean, it would be really nice if you guys could help us out, because you'd have one hell of a cool year on this channel if we got to do this.
Yeah, people can't forget the BTS, the behind the scenes stuff, is going to be just as good as the movie itself. You're going to want that just as much. I'm excited for that.
Melissa says, if everyone just donated $1 who watches these videos, Cameron would already be funded. I've been saying that for weeks, Melissa.
$1 really does count, guys. I know people are like, oh, $1, whatever. But $1 really does count.
Yeah. Twin Peaks outside city limits, save Annie, spread the word. I think this is going to be one of our takeaways from tonight's video, Joey. Everybody who watches these things, just hashtag save Annie, and I will go through with my Queen of Hearts Twitter account, and I will just start retweeting everybody that has the Indiegogo campaign in there. The hashtag save Annie, not Andy. No, we don't want to save Andy. No, save Andy.
Toy Story 4.
Yeah. And just and I'll just retweet this stuff, and we'll just keep it going. Then you guys retweet everybody else's stuff. Like, go through, find the hashtag save Annie, start retweeting those. I'll start retweeting those, and it will just be like a giant circle of just, and we'll create a cyclone of hashtag.
The void. We'll create a void.
Well, our own vortex in which all of us will be like this, looking at the heavens, and we got to get something to wake these people up. Listen, we have 14 days. We have $10,000 to raise. It's not inconceivable. I mean, there are campaigns on Kickstarter and Indiegogo that raise $50,000-$60,000 in a week. It seems like. You're telling me that with all the people who watch these podcasts, that subscribe to us, that follow us on Facebook pages and Twitter accounts, stuff like that, we can't get 110 people to throw in some money. It's just, I don't know. It's really funny. The other day, I did have to block some trolls that decided to wake me up Sunday morning with nasty tweets and nasty Facebook messages and things like that. Yeah. Just, people just being jerks to be jerks. And that made me really sad. But I mean, that's just par for the course for the whole thing. But still, though, it's not a way you want to wake up in the morning.
I mean, those jerks give me life. I love to hate because they're always wrong.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, listen, if this campaign was climbing and climbing and climbing, and I was getting things like that, I'd be like, well, we're still succeeding. Mm-hmm. But I was getting those messages, and then the campaign wasn't climbing. So I was just like, I just want this to succeed, not only for the film, but just to kind of shut those kind of people up. You know what I mean?
I mean, the ambition itself is admirable. Whether or not it wins, you're trying it. And that's probably more than those people could say for themselves.
I'm doing everything I can. Maybe they're just jealous that Krista Bell doesn't, talk about them.
It's possible. There's probably some level of jealousy there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been told. A lot of people are like, well, people are just jealous. And I'm like, yeah, but anyway, so I had to block a couple of people, which I don't usually do, but I wanted to just get that kind of negativity out of my site that day. And then the campaign wasn't moving anywhere, but so that kind of really just kind of made me really sad on Sunday. I was like, and then thanks to my friend, awesome. But other than that, there hasn't been a lot of movement. But like I said, we're in the last 10,000. We're at 60%. So I'm doing everything I can. But I think that what it needs is like little blogs or film websites to start talking about this. I mean, I know Ain't It Cool News isn't the biggest sites anymore, but it's like just having an article on those kind of sites would really help generate eyes on it.
Not only eyes and SEO purposes, like Google optimization, like it boosted in the rankings on Google too. So people searching Twin Peaks might find this, might find the campaign. So
Lights Above says maybe you should retitle the film Queen of Tarot Cards. No. Let's see. Frank's in the chat. He says, how about everyone in the chat right now? Donate the price of a coffee right now. It's not difficult. I know. I mean, poor Frank, he's, he has gone above and beyond this whole week, being on these shows with me, doing guest interviews and stuff like that. It's been great. And I know he's equally as like perplexed. Like, we're doing all this stuff and it doesn't translate for whatever reason, right? I mean, like, we have like a great celebrity guest and nobody donates during that time that we have the celebrity guest there. Nobody donates afterwards. Like Frank said the other night, the Indiegogo link goes for 24 hours, guys. It doesn't shut off when the stream shuts off. For whatever reason, people aren't utilizing it. I mean, I could look at that as say, well, I guess the public is telling you that they're not interested, but we're at 60%. So obviously the public is interested. There
are people there.
There are tons of people there. I mean, if this thing was like I said the other night on Facebook, if this campaign was at 20%, I'd be like, okay, people aren't interested. If it was at 80%, I'd be like knee deep in pre-production right now. But when it's between, 50, 60%, I'm kind of in this, can't really do anything mode.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to start full speed ahead, and you don't want to.
Right. Because why go further if it's not going to happen? Right. I mean, I can get things set in place, but I can't start making arrangements and that type of thing because it's just kind of like sitting there. And while every dollar counts, obviously, every dollar counts if you have a ton of people throwing in $1 or $5, $10. If it's just kind of like a random $5 to $10 every 8 to 12 hours, well, there's no way in heck we're ever going to get to this conclusion.
And we all have lives. We can't do 24-hour streams. We can't do 7-day long stream.
I can't do another one. I mean, that thing practically killed me the first time around. So I have to count on everybody out there helping to, push this further than just us. Right. I feel like I've been saying this for a while. I feel like we've done almost everything we can do. Now we have to rely on other people like taking us there, Yeah.
Community power.
Right. And like, tweeting it out, getting people interested, contacting other people. I mean, like there's a lot of people out there like Jason in the chat. Like he tweets out tons of people. Mm-hmm. He's not getting any responses from people. It's just like, so obviously we have to get the media's attention somehow. And the only way I can think of is let's get Save Annie trending. Let's get that Indiegogo thing trending. So I'll say it again. If you post Twin Peaks stuff, and I know many of you do throughout the day, put the Indiegogo link in there. Hashtag Save Annie. Just tag it on almost every post you can do, and I will retweet it Other people will retweet it.
I will.
And we will just create, like you said, we'll create a vortex of Twin Peaks insanity. And hopefully that will get people's attention, because as of right now, we got 14 days left. I'm a very optimistic person, but we're never going to make it if we're just getting
at this rate. Yeah.
We're never going to make it on $25 a day being thrown in the pot. It's just not going to happen.
Who has a rich uncle?
But here, you guys, I know a bunch of you guys are going to watch this podcast, later. So #save Annie, or go to the Indiegogo link. Here it is, right here. It's right here. Send it to everybody you know, everybody in your contact list. Just send it to everybody. You can be like, hey, can you throw in $1? Can you throw in $5, $10? It's not going to take very much if everyone throws in $20.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go super fast. But yeah, I mean, just start throwing it to all your contacts, anybody you know. But again, I'm shocked that nobody in the media is writing about this. I'm flabbergasted that, and I'm not talking about the big sites. I'm talking like Entertainment Weekly and Variety and all that, and the Wrap and all that. I'm talking about where the heck is Joe Bob's blogspot.com. Where those guys going, hey, Twin Peaks people, here's what's going on. Here's something that's really big going on. Do they not realize the amount of hits they would get on an article like that? Because if I see an article like that, I'm going to post it everywhere. And, I'm going to guarantee 150,000 eyes on your article like that.
I mean, I know I'm very liberal with that share button or that retweet button whenever it's involved with Twin Peaks. Very liberal with it.
Right. I mean, the obnoxious and anonymous Twitter thing is, I try to tweet out all types of stuff, but man, I post a lot of Twin Peaks stuff on there too. So, I mean, if someone throws something out there that I like it and reshare it. And I have 3 different Twitter accounts. So I'm always liking and retweeting stuff on with all 3 accounts just to kind of get the numbers up there. I don't know. I think that, if we want this to happen, we're going to have to come together as a Twin Peaks / obnoxious anonymous community and make this happen. It's the only way. Otherwise, it's just going to be sitting there. And I got to just tell you, it's very sad and very depressing to wake up in the morning and realize that the last donation happened 16 hours ago, when everybody was saying to me just 3 days ago, extend it. We need the extension. Let's do it. And it's like, yes, we need the extension, but what we don't need is everybody doing nothing until the last 3 days. I mean, the tweets are getting likes and retweets like crazy, but nobody is contributing. And it's like, again, if it was at 20%, I would be like, okay, people are interested, but it's at 60. So obviously there's enough people interested.
And there's so many that don't even know about it yet.
Oh yeah.
That's what kills me. There's so many people that would contribute that just don't know about it.
Yeah, I saw somebody on Twitter today tweeting to Krista Bell saying, "Thank you for letting me know about this because I didn't know anything about it."
Mm-hmm.
See, those are the people we need to reach. We need to reach all those Japanese Twin Peaks fans.
You would probably have to hire a transcript, somebody to transcribe the script.
Right.
But maybe if somebody knows Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, if anyone knows Japanese, get in touch with Japanese Twin Peaks pages, Japanese Twitter accounts, and send this out, You know what?
If somebody could figure out what the Japanese hashtag for Twin Peaks would be, please let us know. Because those guys that's a whole nother country.
Not only that, but I mean, come on February 24th, they literally put a mannequin of Laura Palmer in the water and worship her.
Right. I forgot about that.
So
I have a lot of Japanese people watch my videos. They might not know what I'm saying because I don't have Japanese subtitles on, but I see the numbers there. So
I'm telling you, I think we need to hit big time Japan.
Now we're thinking global. I like it.
Well, if Twin Peaks broaden itself out, then we can too.
Yeah.
We can world build this channel as well.
All right. So yeah, if anybody knows what the Japanese Twin Peaks hashtag is, please tag me and Cameron in it, or Obnoxious and Anonymous. I'm very curious.
Yeah. Let's see. Jamie Michelle says, I told all my Twin Peaks loving friends to donate, and I shared on Facebook, and I donated, of course. If you haven't donated, for the love of Twin Peaks, why not?
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Twin Peaks Outside the City Limit says, love is stronger than hate. Stay the course. Hashtag save Annie. That's what I'm telling you. Tonight, this is what I want to see. I want to see Save Annie all over Twitter, and we're going to just...
In English and Japanese.
Well, yeah. But not just tonight. We have 14 days. Let's just... Listen, 14 days, 2 weeks. It's not that long. Let's just media blitz this Queen of Hearts campaign, hashtag Save Annie, for at least the next, week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, let's just... I know it's going to seem tedious, but just write it out, and it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Let's take over Twitter and Facebook and stuff with those hashtags and get everyone going. Where the hell did the Save Annie thing come from? And let's. I mean, we are huge as a community. Let's make this huge.
I was going to say, also as an added bonus, you're tweeting about Twin Peaks. You're tweeting about Save Annie. Some people might follow you, realizing you're Twin Peaks fans. I know I get a lot almost every day, people following me because I use the hashtag. So just an added perk.
Yeah.
Get some new friends.
Get some new followers. And, it's kind of like, if you hashtag Save Annie, that you're part of the cool group. So.
You're in the know.
You are in the know.
But we want everybody to be in the know.
Exactly.
So follow each other and do that thing.
Frank says, the total has not moved. Make him happy and donate now. Yeah, I'm going to check right now. See, yeah, no one's donated. So, see, that's what I'm talking about, Joey. We can just be here and be YouTube clowns for an hour and a half, and people just go, aren't they cute? And then they move on with their lives.
Just gotta, you gotta call Danielle.
Lights Above says, Cameron, when is the Save Annie hashtag Twitter storm happening? Now.
Tonight. Right now.
Now. Just start it now.
You know what? I'm going to do it right now.
SBF 50 says, if this campaign doesn't work out, it'll be no fault of yours, Cameron. You're promoting the SHIT out of this. I'm doing my best. I'm not going to be able to look at myself in the mirror, Dougie style, if I can't, if I know that I didn't try everything,
I'm going to tweet it right now.
And the ironic thing is this thing should have been funded 2 weeks ago, with the way everybody was talking to me on messages and stuff saying, oh, I'll donate this. I was like, okay, cool. We'll be at $40,000 in no time. And here we are crawling our way to 25,000. But yeah, Jason says, I've been trying to preach, brother. You have been.
Oh yeah, Jason.
You've been going well above and beyond everything. Trust me. SBF 50 says, we need the New York benefactor from Twin Peaks season 3. No, what is that? What does that guy say in Las Vegas? You don't ever want to do business with a man like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
be a burden.
But I'm telling you, hashtag Save Annie. Listen, it may seem tedious, it may drive you crazy, but let's not just do it tonight. Let's carry this out until the campaign is over. Seriously, every Twin Peaks post you put out, hashtag Save Annie with the Indiegogo link, Queen of, or just hashtag Queen of Hearts, Indiegogo link, Save Annie. Just make it somehow so people know, what you're supporting with your Twin Peaks post, and let's just get that out there and let's drive the entire community going, wow. Yeah, SBF 50s, I agree with you. Says if one big film blog posted about this, the others would. Until then, everybody just sits dormant. I agree. Don't you, Joey?
All right, yeah.
I mean,
No, I agree.
it's much like those Showtime season 4 things, right? It just took Variety to post it out, and then 65 other sites were like, oh, Showtime says there's an open door for Twin Peaks season 4. So that's what we need. We need somebody to post it out there and then have other people do it. But until then, I'll be happy with any article. I mean, nobody has written about. I mean, yeah, there's a couple Reddit posts, but nobody's commented on them.
I tried to upvote them myself.
Yeah, nobody comments on them, and then nobody's writing about this. Like every day, I go to Google and like look up the all the news and all. I mean, there's like,
I have my tweet up.
What does it say?
It says retweet, help save, #save Annie, contribute to the Queen of Hearts, a Twin Peaks fan film Indiegogo campaign. Then the link, and then #Twin Peaks in all caps.
Right. So here's what I need everybody to do. Every time you see a post like this or any post that says Save Annie, like it, retweet it, and we'll all do that. And it will just Save Annie will be trending by morning. And we'll just keep it trending. And just we'll even make what's his name? Darren Franek over at Entertainment Weekly scratch his head going, what the hell?
Should I get a photo shoot with these people? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Brianne says, let's get Annie to tweet in French and Alice in German. That might be good. Let them know that on Twitter as well.
Oh, yes.
Stephanie says, I got new followers when I tweeted about the campaign.
See?
Awesome. George, I agree. 24/7. Anytime you're on Twitter, #Save Annie. Listen, this is how movements start, Joey. This is how we do it. And again, this isn't like, oh, well, this is a movement indefinitely that's going to just grow pale in like 3 days. We have a time frame. It's 2 weeks. All right. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. If we're going to go out, if this thing's not going to work, let's go out blazing. You know what I mean? Right. If anything, I think this will help, because if we keep doing what we've been doing, for whatever reason, it's not working. So we need to take it to the next level.
It's time to throw the Hail Mary.
But also it's time to bring out the baseball bat and start waking people up. Like, wake up. Are you not noticing this? There's like millions of Twin Peaks fans all over the world, right? And we have less than 300 backers. And I'm certain it's not because people are uninterested. It's just because a lot of people don't know about it.
I think that's what it is. For some reason, it's not reaching a certain sect of the Twin Peaks community. So,
right.
You know what you guys do? Put on the American Woman, the slowed down version, and just tweet like angry, like Save Annie, and while it's playing in the background, you'll get so hyped.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, what I'm talking about, I mean, I'll put out 25, 30 tweets a day with #Save Annie, just, you know what I mean? And then retweeting everybody else. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be, Twitter won't know what to do. You know?
I'm on Twitter all day, guys. So you can tag me and I'll retweet you. Like,
let's trend it so hard Donald Trump writes #Save Annie.
I don't want to know which Annie he would.
No, but let's just make him think it's super cool. You know, so somebody out there tweet Donald Trump. Somebody out there tweet Donald Trump with the campaign #Save Annie. See if he retweets that shit.
You know what you have to do? You have to be like one of the first people to reply to his tweets, and you'll be like, if somebody clicks his tweet, you'll be like one of the first ones to show up. That's a Twitter hack for you.
There you go. Jamie Michelle says, I've heard Mork and Bubba talk about you on the Twin Peaks Fit and Trim podcast before. Maybe they talk about you and get some people donating. Jamie, we have less than 2 weeks. People, I don't know when people record things. So, we're going to have to organize big time as a community and as obnoxious and anonymous viewers and contributors. And let's kick this campaign up like 10 levels. Stephanie says, I retweet and share everything I see about the campaign. You definitely do, Stephanie. Thank you. Lights Above says, I tweeted it. Stephanie says, this is going to be super cool and super fun. Yeah. Let's see. Melissa says, I am tweeting the Indiegogo link with, can you help save Annie? Perfect. Great. We got to do something, man. We got to do something. We are in the last 2 weeks, which is really funny because technically this campaign was supposed to be over by now.
Yeah, this is the afterlife.
This is because everybody said, do it, extend it. And we figured out a way that we could extend it this one time for 2 weeks. But we need to keep it going.
Look, anybody that's tweeting, I'm following them right now. So,
and tag us, tag the, Queen of Hearts Twitter account. Come onto the Facebook pages, share them on Facebook pages. Let's become, I know this sounds cheesy, but let's become the Queen of Hearts army and let's get this done, I feel like it's Alice in Wonderland or something like that, but no. Cause some people are saying, hey, I've emailed people, I've tweeted people. I don't think people read a lot of the tweets, I think email, like, especially like the website. I don't like if you like tweet Dread Central or something like Rain Cool News. I don't think they read that stuff. I think that only is like an exit account.
Yeah. They probably use something like Hootsuite where it's just automated.
Exactly. So like you kind of have to find the journalists. You kind of have to go to like the websites itself, send an email, send them the link and be like, listen, this thing has raised $15,000 in the community. There's celebrities talking about this, affiliated with the show. Can you throw us, a bone here? Just, give us a blurb. That would be wonderful. I mean, I would love to wake up in the morning and see 2 or 3 little blog posts out there. That would be great because I can't believe that it hasn't happened.
I mean, I'm sure you'd be up to doing interviews with them if they asked.
Yeah, of course. I had somebody say to me the other day, like, well, Cameron, do you see other fan films being talked about on blogs? Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. But then they're like, well, why is yours so special? It's like, well, look at who's supporting this thing. Look at the amount of people talking about this thing. That's better than the werewolf lesbian movie that no one's ever heard of that gets like a 6-paragraph essay on Bloody Disgusting. You know what I mean? No offense. I mean, I'm sure that movie's great, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying that, like, I don't see any talk and hype about that. I see nothing but hype about this, and it hasn't moved,
I mean, I follow a lot of filmmaking blogs and websites, and they'll talk about anybody that shoots like a 10-minute movie on their iPhone. Like, that's huge news. So there's no reason for it not to be talked about.
And the thing is, though, like with Krista Bell, it's like there are outlets out there like Entertainment Weekly and those kind of places that monitor accounts like hers. Right. So how come when they see something like that, nobody talks about it? It's almost like we're just going to try and sweep this under the rug. Like, why? Why are they trying to do that? Are they trying to do that? Who knows? But it just seems kind of funny that, if you go on regular like movie blog sites, you would be astounded at the news that they are reporting and what they're and the fact that they're not talking about this. You're like, well, that doesn't compute at all. If you're talking about this over here, you sure as hell should be talking about the fact that, for the last week, I've had like 7 guests from Twin Peaks on this podcast. Krista Bell's tweeting about the campaign. We got all these people just saying, yes, donate. We got $15,000. No news, nothing.
I've seen Zoe in Twitter liking stuff too. She's been on the ball.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got people. Lisa retweeted it today. She's just like, you need to support this. I mean, come on. I mean, I cannot believe. It really shows me. I don't know what about the media except that, like,
yeah,
it's like if they're into it, and if they're not into it, nobody does it.
If they weren't into it before, let's make them into it now.
That's what I mean. Let's hashtag save Annie on everything and make them all flip out and be like, what is going on here? Because that's the only way we're going to get any attention on this thing at all is if we just media blitz the hell out of this thing. And it's like Krista Bell tweeted out. If you've ever had the inkling to save Annie, this is our chance. So I think listen, we're in the last 2 weeks. You want this to happen? We're going to have to make this happen because Me, Joey, Frank, Hal, Annie, Mandy, all the people involved with the channel, we can't do it alone. And we, you know what I mean? We need every single person's help that follows this video. And if you're not going to contribute money, then you need to help us this other way. Seriously. Because if you're not going to contribute money, you need to bring us people who will contribute money. Because we got to hit another 10,000 in 14 days. Minimum.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I got to tell you, this movie is going to be awesome. It is truly going to be incredible. You're going to want to see it. I mean, of course, there's going to be those 1-2 jerk offs that thumb it down right in the first 5 minutes of the movie. But you know, we love them too. But anyway, but we can't do this without your help. We cannot do this without your help. And it's imperative and important that you just spend the next 2 weeks taking your love of Twin Peaks and the love of this channel and the love of this subject matter for a film and support the hell out of us. And we're just gonna Twin Peaks media blitz the hell out of this. You know, we're gonna make the Bookhouse Babes have to retweet 1 million things a day. And Amanda will love it, and JC will love it. But we're gonna tag, you know, get 25 years later, you know, we're gonna make the Blue Rose magazine wake up and be like, oh, maybe we should like one of these posts. Okay, you know, I can't get John.
Where are they? Are they asleep at the wheel?
John Thorne, one of the nicest people on the planet, hasn't liked one of these tweets, hasn't retweeted anything either from his personal account or his Blue Rose magazine account.
What's he doing?
Obviously ignoring this. So I know him. He's got to be like, well, we're the official Twin Peaks magazine. We can't officially endorse something that's not official canon.
Yeah, that's
probably it. But come on, John, throw us a bone.
He's playing on the fence there a little bit.
Come on, John. We love you. We talk about you all the time. We promote.
I'm sure he wants to. I believe he wants to.
Yeah, we promote the hell out of your magazine on this show. Give us a like.
I have my copy right here. Where is it? Maybe it's not right here.
What a tease you are. What a tease. Hey, did you see the Industrial Symphony yet? Did you watch it on YouTube?
No, I haven't watched it yet. Oh, yeah, here we go. I have my copy right here.
There you go. And make sure, guys, to resubscribe to the that magazine. I guess they're gonna have to renew your subscription for the next issue. So
yes. Okay.
I'm
a fan.
Let's see here. Here we go. Twin Peaks outside Say Limit says, "How's Annie has tweeted in French now? Awesome, cool." She's probably watching. She's probably watching this in bed right now, and she's like, "All right, Cameron, I'll do this for
you."
Nick Solon says, "Save Annie on Instagram was all pictures of dogs." Well, we need to throw in some pictures that had the gram and even it out. All right, SBF says, "I'd ask Pete Peppers and Lynch to do a short video to boost it. I bet they would if you asked nicely. Why don't you guys ask for me? Because I've reached out to them. I haven't gotten anywhere with them. So if you want to reach out, if you want to start posting stuff like in their comment section of their videos, because they haven't made a video in a long time, as far as I'm aware of, about this stuff, let them know. We got 2 weeks and we need to get the stuff going.
You guys have more power in that area than we do because you guys are their viewers. We're just other.
Right, because they'll say to me like, "Well, why don't you just do a video on your channel?" And I'm like, "Well, I have." But you know, if you ask them to nicely, I'm sure they'll come. You know, they'll be happy to help you guys out because they want to make things that you guys will watch. And if it's us asking them, they don't know they have a viewership for that video.
Yeah,
but if the viewers ask them, they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll make that video for them." They want to see that. Jamie Michelle says, "I think that getting the word out is key. Use every source we have, people." SBF 50 says, "If we all do this enough, Save Annie hashtag will no doubt stir up curiosity." Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Let's see. SBF 50 says, "If like 5 to 10 smaller Twin Peaks YouTubers did little videos, that start a momentum up. Maybe clue in blogs, then they can spin off more." You know, Joey, this is what I've been saying from the very start. Like, if you have a blog, if you have a YouTube channel, I'll do interviews with you. We can do, make videos. We can, do all kind of stuff, because what people don't realize is that if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a film blog, and you write anything or you make a little video about this, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a lot of views, because nobody else is writing about this or making videos about this. And everyone's going to want to know what the hell Save Annie is.
I mean, I want to extend that a hand. Like, you could ask me, you could ask Cameron if you want to maybe come on one of our videos or us come on one of yours. I'm up for it. I'm game.
Joey doesn't know a lot of the details about the film, but yeah.
If they just want somebody to talk Twin Peaks, and then talk about, I'll do that.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, it's super. I mean, like, I'm telling you, like, but nobody has extended their arm to me, be like, hey, I'll write some, or I'll do a video or whatever like that, George, who's in the chat, he has a new YouTube channel. Guess what your second video could be, and you would get a lot. I mean, I'm not kidding you. You would get a lot of views.
I'm already subscribed.
Yeah, so am I. Nobody else is making videos about this. Be one of the first. You're gonna be surprised at how many views you get. Because I'll be posting all over the place. Let's see here. Jason says, let's keep driving traffic and eyeballs to the campaign. I agree. Hey, you guys got Corey Feldman to donate money. So somehow
there's people still waiting out there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people will donate if you hit the right people. Jared Hall says, this is a brilliant subject matter for any Twin Peaks fan. More fans definitely need to know about it. Yeah. And, again, let people know, I'm not trying to be David Lynch. I'm not trying to be Mark Frost. I'm not trying to, redo stuff because I don't like what they did. I'm trying to tell my story within the continuity that they've created. Now, this was a story I came up with back in 1992. But obviously with season 3 and the final dossier and stuff like that, I've had to just move things a little bit around, but nothing where it would change the story, which is great, which is super awesome that I didn't have to change everything and be like, oh my God, this is going to work. This is going to work even better than it was going to be before. So I'm really excited. And yeah, let's see here. Kendi Sue says, trying to get a picture of my cat. How is Annie? Yeah, I agree, SBF. These are all great ideas. SBF says, YouTube really might be the answer. The community might be your best help. Twitter can be a real echo chamber. Oh, yes, it can be. I don't even think people read Twitter, to be honest. And you get lost in the trends and never be heard. Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. But I'm saying we can't ignore Twitter. It has to play a factor because we have to get Save Annie trending. Yes, I agree about the YouTube videos, but I think there's even more than what we could just, I don't have an Instagram thing, but if you guys have Instagram, start posting pictures from the campaign, just hashtag Save Annie or there's so many ways we can trend this thing.
The thing is, Twitter, I know people don't see a lot of retweets or a lot of likes, but Twitter is, there's a lot of lurkers. There's a very large amount of lurkers on Twitter. They won't ever like or retweet, but they'll click links. They'll read. You'll never know it unless you have you check your analytics every 2 seconds. But there's a very large lurker community on Twitter as well. So don't count Twitter out yet.
Yeah. And Joey and I lurk a lot too on there. So
yeah.
No, but I tend to like a lot of things on there. George says, I'm planning on making at least a couple videos. Thank you, George. We got 2 weeks, man. We got to get them done. He goes, I'm just working on an idea for one of them. Cool. That's great. Should have some videos coming out this week. Even better. Awesome. SBF says, I don't even use Twitter. Yeah, I understand. But yeah, that's where we are, Joey. That is where we are. So let me just conclude this video by saying that we have not moved $1 during the entirety of this video, even though the link is right in front of everybody's faces. But I'm hoping that the people watching the video after it's posted will contribute. Please do. It's so depressing to wake up in the morning and have nothing donated, and we're still this far behind, and after everybody encouraged me to take it for another 2 weeks to see nobody contributing, you know what I mean? Just very few. It's very discouraging, very disheartening, and it makes you go, why am I even doing this? But damn it, I'm going to ride this out to the very end, and we'll see what happens. But I think if we completely media blitz this thing and make everybody notice us, then they can't deny us. They'll be like, holy crap, if he has this Queen of Hearts army behind him, what is he going to do with this thing? That's what I agree. That's what I think. So, here we go. We are at 60% raised of $25,000. We have 297 backers. We are at $15,055. We have 14 days left. And that is where we are. Take some last comments from the chat and we will leave. Jason says, we are with you. I have donated and will donate again. Jason, I will say it again. You have gone above and beyond. You're doing great. Stephanie says, I just know you can do this, Cameron. Your film has to be made. Yes, it must be made. You know what, though? You guys have made me so happy because I've gotten so many comments, Joey, and messages from people saying, this movie doesn't need to be made. It wants to be made, and
I like that.
Yeah. People are super just like, this needs to happen. Yeah. It's, yeah, I mean, it's that's the intent is to just make something so awesome. And Brianne tweeted out the other day going, who knows when Twin Peaks is coming back, if ever. It probably will be, but if ever, who knows when it's going to happen. So let's just enjoy, a new Twin Peaks film this year. I mean, it's I'll probably have it out, around the holidays. And I think it will be completely worth it. And it's not like, oh, I go away and then I come back with this movie. No, you're like you said, you're gonna get all these behind the scenes
BTS stuff. I'm so excited for that. And I might go up and join you for a day or two, just to hang out.
That's right. That's right. We'll make you a woodsman.
I'm actually probably gonna shave it. A week later, I'm probably gonna get rid of it.
Well, I was gonna say I would take you to the Double R Diner and plump you up so you can be a woodsman.
I don't need any help with that. I was gonna say, I was thinking about doing like a Twin Peaks little acoustic cover EP. So if you do make the goal, I might just give it out to whoever wants it, if people are interested.
Ooh, I'm sure they would be. They would definitely be interested. They purchased Frank's albums like there was nobody's business.
Yeah.
And then Chaz's album, they grabbed that. They love music. This group loves music, Joey.
Me too. I get it.
SBF says Joey as a woodsman would be hilarious.
I would love it. I would love it. I want to be an unofficial woodsman.
Twin Peaks outside the city limits says, got a light, Joey.
Not near me.
You guys are complete jokesters. Twin Peaks says Joey can play in the Roadhouse like Eddie Vedder. Yeah, you want to be my Roadhouse cover band?
I don't know if I'm Eddie Vedder's level, but
oh my goodness,
I could fake it.
Joey, we better get going though because we're losing viewers. Apparently, they don't like us just kind of shooting the shit about things. So we went from 75 to 64. They're like, enough of this.
They probably thought we were going to get off, and then we went on a tangent.
Nah, they probably tuned in to see if we had a celebrity on and realized it's just us talking tonight, and they're like, we're out of here. Call us back when you have Mark Frost or Christabel on, and we'll come back. And we still won't donate anything. Because a lot of people, they like getting the milk for free, Joey.
Oh, I know.
But that's just the way of the internet.
I don't mind giving out stuff for free. Just pay for this. I'll make the EP and give it to you guys. Pay for this.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. Remember, it's only 2 weeks. Let's drive the internet wild. Hashtag Save Annie.
Save Annie.
Send the Indiegogo link to everybody you know in your contacts list. Just get it out there. Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, wherever else, MySpace. Throw it out there on MySpace. Let's get the blogs, the film blogs talking about it, writing about it, because they want to write things that they know are going to get views. They're not going to talk about this film if they think they're going to get 5 views. They want to make sure they're going to have views. And if they see that there's this like hashtag Save Annie going around there, and there's sort of this Queen of Hearts kind of army thing being built, they're going to be like, oh my God, if we write an article, people will read it and we'll get a lot of views. So that's how we're going to get them to do it. We're going to media blitz this, Joe. We got 2 weeks. Let's have some fun. Every Twin Peaks post.
It's free.
Yeah.
You're not paying anything to post.
Exactly. Hashtag at Queen of Hearts, hashtag Save Annie, put the link in there, whatever. Even if it's Ben and Jerry Horn eating a hoagie sandwich, send it out.
Anything Twin Peaks. Yeah.
Anything. Let's make this let's rock and roll. This will be great. But Joey, thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, let's rock. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I did not mean to just sound like Laura Dern doing Harvey Firestein voice, but there it is. Let's rock. All right. All right, guys. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Joey, for joining me on such short notice. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Make sure to give these videos likes and thumbs up and shares and subscribe to the channel. 50 more subscribers, Joey, and I hit the big 3,000.
Oh, nice.
I've been nearing that 3,000 for about 6 months now.
I know. I've staggered as well, but
I gain some, I lose some, I gain some, I lose some. So David, you said that you would stay here now, so don't unsubscribe again. All right. All right, guys, take it easy. Hashtag Save Annie. Contribute to the campaign if you can. Send to everybody. Let's go. Come on, guys. 2 weeks. Let's do this. All right. We'll talk soon.